Thank you so much.
Put this right up here.
Fine.
Good, that way. My chance of poking
You picked the right place to go.
Thank you very much.
And next is Mckee Richardson. Did I say that right? Thank you. You also signed that blank check and served during the Vietnam era. She also served too. Like I said, women signing up back then led the way for the rest of us women to join. So thank you.
Were you in country? That way I won't poke you.
Does Rocket get one too?
Thank you.
All right, that is it. Thank you all.
It was not easy living during that time. There were very, I don't know, it's so difficult, it's so long ago. But the 4 years that the Germans occupied us was extremely different. My father was in the Dutch army and was captured by the Germans. And later on he was a prisoner of war in Holland. So it was very difficult for my mother, who had 6 children, to take care of us. And we just lived on a few little bit of food that we could get. And going to school, many times there was alarm. And of course we had to go into strangers' houses. And the day of our liberation, which was September 17th, 1944, we were on the street as the Germans were going back to their country. And they told my dad, who had indeed a flag outside, get that flag inside because they're going to throw one of these hand grenades. So he then went outside and talked to the American soldiers, who eventually found out that my father was at that time a captain in the Dutch army. But even our best friends that we had been on vacation with and had stayed in a farm died on that day. The girl, our friend, and her brother, about a few meters away from each other. She died separately, and he died separately. It was the worst thing, and was hit by American infantry. So it went through a very, very difficult time. And as I said, I could never, ever forget it. And when you see the cemetery today in Holland, which is called Margraten, I was there about 3 years ago. Every grave had flowers. The Dutch people take such good care. And also, I didn't know that, if you know, they have pictures of the soldiers who died. Now, near the grave. That's something new.
Very nice.
Yes, yes.
Never forget.
That's right.
Never forget. We continue speaking about them, and we will never, ever forget that our loved ones
Right.
have gone.
So, as I said, this is what we went through. But we survived.
You're
And
very
I'm
strong.
here.
And you are all the greatest generation.
Yes. Yes, you guys are.
I love it.
Well, again, thank you for being here. This was a, dare I use the S word, this was a sacred time to remember all who have served, all those who are serving, and the families that surround each of the servicemen and women. So I am grateful and humbled to be here with you for today. And thank you for being here for yourself and on behalf of those that you love. So I send you with these words: go forth remembering with grateful hearts the men and women of our country, who in the day of decision ventured much for the liberties we now enjoy. May we not rest until all people of this land share the benefits of true freedom and gladly accept its disciplines. Go forth with this word. Amen. Thank you again.
Great. Thank you, every one of you. Thank you, and families. Appreciate all your support.
And from Chateau Madeleine, we want to do a tremendous Chateau Madeleine thank you. We've got Larry Lowe. Ken Lowe, sorry. And we've got Christine, to edit that. And we've got Sheila. And Sir, I'm not taking a chance. Matthew, yes. I just thought Larry Lowe went very well. So thank you so much. Let's give a rousing round of applause to Ken, Christine, Sheila, and Matthew. Did it! Yay! And thank you, Evelyn. Thank you so much for including your dear father, and we honor him and all the wives, and we really honor you all. And so we're here from all different countries. We've got Anna Marie from Holland, occupied Germany. She lived through that. Yes. So we've got the little baby here, a brand new generation, and we really want them to know peace. But now we've got that in Ukraine, so it just seems to be something continuous. But thank you all for fighting for freedom. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
An albatross, a seaplane. It's going to be around for a few more years.
Awesome.
Longer than I will.
How many hours did you have in it?
I might not have captured that. What was that? What plane was that, Chuck? I can't think.
Say it again.
What plane did you mention there?
The Grumman Albatross. Albatross.
Yep.
HU-16.
So Chuck just wants to acknowledge all the
Check.
elements that helped keep this country free. And at the back here, if I might, Christine, I know this is the Vietnam pinning, but we have a whole row of...
Yes, I'd like to acknowledge all the other veterans. So
yes.
Please.
Korean War here.
Thank you.
And also Anna Maria. Would you like to tell us about your husband and how they served?
They served in the army.
In the army, in the second...
Both husbands.
And what wars? What wars?
The Second World War.
Yes.
Second World War. Thank you.
We have Chuck.
I
Second
lived
World
there.
War.
Yes.
Yes. Any other veterans I would like to acknowledge? Thank you. And what time were you
And
in Korea? Thank you for your service.
My husband was in Hawaii when the Japanese bombed Hawaii. When the Japanese attacked.
Thank you for your
And
service.
he served
Like I said,
in
I couldn't have
World War
served
II,
without the women before
Korean
you guys
War,
are the
Vietnam
ones that
War.
led the way for
He
me
served
to
for
serve in the
32
90s.
years.
Thank you all.
And we would just like to hear from Mckee to acknowledge your husband. Can you tell us his name and this incredible way that he served?
He served in World War II, Korean War, Vietnam War. He served 32 years. He was at Hickhamville when the Japanese bombed
Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor.
And what was his name?
Ernest Richardson.
Ernest Richardson.
Thank you so much. Wow.
And of course, we, last but not least, we can't forget Gil, Third Wave Normandy. He's very humble. He doesn't like to be acknowledged, but World War II, and he was there at Normandy and a hair's breadth away from Churchill.
Thank you so much for your service, sir. But I do have to give a little side note here. I've been with an organization, And it's called Space Coast Honor Flight. I've been with them for about 10 years. I'm the fundraiser, and we want to honor all eras of our Vietnam, Korea, World War II. Please raise your hand if you've been on a flight for Space Coast Honor Flight. Has anybody in here taken the flight?
I'm on the list.
You're on the list. You should be, yes.
I was the first one from Melbourne as a group to go to that.
So you went
World War II Memorial.
World War II.
Yes, I was there.
So you went with Space Coast Honor Flight? Or did
It was not, no, it was our own group that went.
Gotcha. Well,
From
thank you.
Melbourne. It was wonderful.
Was it?
We stayed 2 days in
2
Washington.
days. Very nice.
The opening.
Thank you.
Tell the people
Never
what that
forget
is.
that.
Space Coast Honor Flight? Yeah, I'm going to tell you exactly. Okay, so Space Coast Honor Flight is an organization. It is nationwide, United States wide. We have over 100 hubs in the United States. So what it is we take veterans who have served our country to Washington, D.C. to see their monuments, and all monuments up there, all of Korean, World War II, Vietnam, we even go to the tombstone of the unknown soldier. It's just a beautiful day. We start at Wickham Park. Every veteran has a guardian that goes along. We'll go ahead and honor her with this one. Yes. Ken, do you mind pinning her?
Thank God for this picture.
You're the one that did it.
Yes.
See where you got your
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then we have Karen, her father. What was your father's name?
Floyd Banbury.
Floyd Banbury.
Captain or commander?
Commander.
He was a commander. Commander in the Vietnam War.
Yes, it is. Or adult fruit.
He had a ship.
He was on a ship. He commanded a ship.
Commander of the ship.
I don't know if everyone could hear that, but Karen's father, Floyd, was a commander of a ship in Vietnam.
Thank you.
Which ship do you remember?
USS Collison.
USS Collington.
I don't want this to stab you. Thank you.
Thank you.
She was also a lieutenant commander in the Navy nursing corps.
Really?
Yes.
Well, were you a nurse at the same time? Vietnam?
No. I was touring Iraq.
Ah, okay. That's
Perfect
important.
storm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Karen was
Thank you for being here.
a nurse in Desert Storm. And then we have, yes, thank you. And then we have Catherine Armstrong, and her husband played a vital role in communications in Vietnam. Can you tell us a little bit more?
No, we were stationed in Hawaii at a underground communication place. I won't say where. And he was a radioman, so he had the communications for Vietnam and all the other activities that are going on.
Very essential.
Very essential. Thank you.
And what was his name?
Don Armstrong.
Don Armstrong. And we honor Don Armstrong. Even though he wasn't physically in the country, he was doing incredible communications.
Absolutely.
And keeping you boys informed. Hey, Don.
All right. Was there anybody else that I
Did
missed?
you get Chuck?
Oh, Chuck, yes.
Yeah.
No, we can't. Thank you. No, but you can pull them together. Thank you.
Someone's medallion here. Chuck, get you a pin here.
Pardon?
Gonna give you a pin for your Vietnam service. Here.
At the era. This is very important. When I've spoken to Washington, D.C., they want to make sure that it is the era of Vietnam. As one of my commanders said, it's not everybody who serves over there, but everybody who also supports the people that serve over there. We are a team in the military, and everybody supports each other. So it's very, very important. Veterans, and the first thing I would like to say is welcome home, and thank you for your service. This is well deserved. So I would like to read a little thing about, I had it up here, hold on, let me go get it. I'd like to read the commemoration of the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War. This was by the President of the United States of America. A proclamation. As we observe the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War, we reflect with solemn reverence upon the valor of a generation that served with honor. We pay tribute to the more than 3 million servicemen and women who left their families to serve bravely, a world away from everything they knew and everyone they loved. From La Drang to Hy Son, from Hue to Saigon, and countless villages in between. They pushed through jungles and rice paddies, heat and monsoon, fighting heroically to protect the ideals we hold dear as Americans. Through more than a decade of combat over air, land, and sea, these proud Americans upheld the highest tradition of our armed forces. As a grateful nation, we honor more than 58,000 patriots, their names etched in black granite, who sacrificed all they had and all they would ever know. We draw inspiration from the heroes who suffered unspeakably as prisoners of war, yet who returned home with their heads held high. We pledge to keep the faith with those who were wounded and still carry the scars of war, seen and unforeseen. With more than 1,600 of our service members still among the missing, we pledge as the nation to do everything in our power to bring these patriots home. In the reflection of the wall, we see the military family members and veterans who carry a pain that may never fade. May they find peace in knowing their loved ones endure, not only in medals and memories, but in hearts of all Americans who are forever grateful for their service, valor, and sacrifice. In recognition of a chapter in our nation's history that must never be forgotten, let us renew our sacred commitment to those who answered our country's call in Vietnam and those who awaited their safe return. Beginning on Memorial Day 2012, the federal government will partner with the local government, private organizations, and communities across America to participate in the commemoration of the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War. This is a 13-year program to honor and give thanks to a generation of proud Americans who saw our country through one of the most challenging missions we have ever faced. While no words will ever be fully worthy of their service, nor any honor truly befitting their sacrifice, let us remember that it is never too late to pay tribute to the men and women who answer the call of duty with courage and valor. Let us renew our commitment to the fullest possible accounting for those who have not returned. Throughout this commemoration, let us strive to live up to the example by showing our veterans, their families, and all who served the fullest respect and support of a grateful nation. Now, therefore, I, Barack Obama, President of the United States of America, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Constitution and laws of the United States, do hereby proclaim May 28, 2012 through November 11, 2025 as the commemoration of the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War. I call upon federal, state, and local officials to honor our Vietnam veterans, our fallen, our wounded, those unaccounted for, and our former prisoners of war, their families, and all who served with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. At this time, I would like to, I'm going to be calling Ken Lowe up. We're going to start the pinning, so the symbolism of these pins, the eagle. The eagle represents courage, honor, and dedicated service to our nation. As one of the most recognizable and notable American symbols, it is emblazoned on numerous military insignia. The blue circle, the color blue, matches the canton of the American flag and signifies vigilance, perseverance, and justice. The circle shape and blue color also match the official seal of the Commemoration. The laurel wreath is a time-honored symbol representing victory, integrity, and strength. Stripes. The stripes behind the eagle represent the American flag. Stars. The 6 stars represent the 6 allies who served, sacrificed, and fought alongside one another: Australia, New Zealand, Philippines, the Republic of Korea, Thailand, and the United States. Message: a grateful nation thanks and honors you, is embossed on the back closest to the heart of the wearer. The official name of the commemoration is included to remind each veteran that this is a national initiative. And once we're done pinning our veterans, we have 2 Vietnam veteran spouses that we will pin to. They are being recognized also. If there is any other spouses that are Vietnam veterans, I do have the pin. Please let me know. So we are going to start with the first one.
Sure, I'd love for you.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to be here. I'm the current president of the Military Officers Association Cape Canaveral chapter, and we enjoy partnering with St. Francis Reflections to come to these events to recognize our veterans. We have World War II, Korea, and Vietnam veterans, as well as current, conflict veterans in our chapter. But I first went to Vietnam in 1969, and I finally got out of there and left in 1973. Of course, it wasn't continuous, but started off in South Vietnam and then ended up, we were flying off the coast of North Vietnam. But you're right in that welcoming home was not what we thought it might be. We're not exactly welcomed back, and actually you felt more comfortable, I think, in Vietnam than you did here in the States, particularly if you're wearing a uniform. But anyway, I just want to recognize all the veterans that we do have here, particularly Vietnam veterans. And I saw a veteran I know, Chuck, that knew him from Medallion Days, which is another organization for military aviators. So it was nice to see you, sir. So again, I'm pleased to be here and to represent our chapter and to acknowledge our veterans.
Thank you, Ken. And then the very first one's going to be James V. Nardo Jr. Please raise your hand so we can. That's your dad. Would you mind pinning her for her dad? Okay. That would be awesome. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for his service.
Thank you.
When did you lose your dad?
October.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
and he will never be forgotten. And thank you. Donald R. Frontel, and we will come to you. We'll let Ken come to you.
So where were you? Two court? Grandstand, 4 court. Up the Highlands? Yeah. Well, pens are hard to get. I don't want to stick you.
It's okay, we'll need it first.
Just like at the game of long shot. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the next is Douglas A. Slingerland. Please raise your hand and we will come honor you. Oh, thank you so much. And
I dug out a service ribbon.
I see that. Thank you. And the importance of this pinning is that another Vietnam veteran pin another Vietnam veteran. This is, I'm a vet, but I'm not a Vietnam vet.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I've asked
That's when we
Vietnam
were
vet to come.
stationed in Lungtown, and then we moved to Bentui.
Well, you had R&R Center?
Never got the R&R, it was Hong Kong.
I never got there either, although I looked down it from the hill where
Thank
I
you.
was.
Welcome home.
Welcome home and thank you too, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome home.
Walter Bishop. Next is Aloha Walter Bishop. Please raise your hand. Thank you so much. Could you tell us what you did in Vietnam?
I wasn't in Vietnam.
Oh, are you a spouse?
No,
Oh, okay.
I didn't go overseas.
But you were here, but you were during the service.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, this is not just for overseas, it's for that you served during that time. So yes, thank you.
Can I put this on your sweater?
Sure.
Easier probably for both of us.
But for a woman to sign up during Vietnam
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
is commendable.
Yeah, very brave.
She led the way for all of us women. Thank you. Thank you. All right, the next I would like, your name. June Bagby, wife of the late Herschel W. Bagby, Colonel Army. The women, the spouses, get bigger pins than the actual.
They carried a big load back here.
They sure did. Let me tell you. Please wear this with pride. And thank you. And welcome home. Even though you didn't go, you still served. You signed a check that most women didn't do. So thank you.
He's going to be a politician.
Next is Carol Patterson, wife of the late Michael O. Patterson, Lieutenant Colonel, Air Force, Vietnam.
All I do.
Blah, blah, blah.
All right. Okay. So welcome everybody, and how honored we are to have you all, and to have lovely Christine and Sheila from St. Francis. Hello, Mckee. Make yourself at home. And another service lady that we're honored to have in our midst here. And on the 29th of March is the National Day that was decided to honor the Vietnam vets. And I really thank you all for coming, but especially our Vietnam vets. So it's an honor to have you, and we are so privileged, and thank you so much for your service. And we still honor that now in 2022. So maybe you didn't get the honor that you deserved and merited coming home in the 60s or 70s, but by George, the longevity, we're going to honor you now. All right. So without further ado, Eric couldn't be here, I'm afraid. He sends his condolences. You know, he's been jet setting and working 24/7, and I think it got the better of him today, but he certainly honors all the vets, and he wishes he could be here. And now let's hand you over in the very capable hands of Christine.
Thank you so much. At this time, we're going to start our program, and I'm going to ask Matt, the chaplain, to come up and do a prayer.
Hello, welcome everybody. It's an honor to be here with you today, and I want to acknowledge your presence here today as a testimony and a witness to those who have served in all of the conflicts and battles. You are bearing witness to those who are with us today and to those who have passed on. So your presence here is powerful. So thank you for being here. Allow me the honor to lead us in with a word of prayer as we honor our servicemen and women today. As always, it's an invitation, never a chore. So as you feel led, as you feel comfortable, feel free to join me in this word of prayer. Lord God, in your house there are many dwellings, and your Son has gone ahead to prepare a place for those who need a homecoming. Today we gather to remember those who served well, but never received the homecoming they deserved, that they hoped for, that they needed. In honoring, remembering these men and women today, may we live out the promise of the homecoming you prepare for us all, the assurance of being welcomed, received, and embraced. May your love lead our way, making known a comfort we all long for, particularly those who have gone afar to serve those back home. Bless these men and women today, welcoming them by your grace on this day. Amen.
Amen.
At this time, we're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance. You do not have to stand if you're not able to. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may have a seat. We're going to